What's up, my pungios? Andy with Andy Vlogs. Excited to share with you guys the cheapest phone, at least that I saw on the market, that you can buy on Amazon right here. This is the Motorola Moto E6 LTE prepaid through Total Wireless that I think is incredible. This is crazy. This was on sale during Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and I picked it up and I wanted to review it for you to see if it's worth it. Now, granted, this is only in the US, so I'm sorry folks outside of the US who are looking at this device. I don't know what the comparable device is going to be for your area. Opening this up, here's all your sales aids if you guys want to pause and look at that. Here are more of the specs here of the device. Here we are. Pulling out of the box. Here are all your sales aids and everything else. And then here's the package itself. It seems like this thing itself could just be... Oh, and I dropped everything. Now that we fixed that, let's go ahead and open up this second compartment for the actual device itself. Now, this does not have the back on, nor does it have the battery on. As you can see, here it is. This comes with a SIM card already installed. This is the 16 gigabyte storage. It's a 5.5 HD plus display with 1.4 gigahertz octa-core processor, including a 3000 milliamp battery, 13 megapixel rear camera with LED flash, and a 5 megapixel front facing camera with flash as well. It does support up to 256 gigabyte micro SD slot, which is awesome. It's got 2 gigs of RAM, and then obviously what we talked about, 4G LTE. It says unlimited talk text data plan start as low as $25. The case has the Motorola insignia icon on it, and you're just gonna snap it clam shut. Very plastic, very straightforward. There's your device. Your volume rocker and your power button are right here. You've got your speaker grill and camera, front-facing camera right there. You got your charging port and microphone right there, and then on the very top, you've also got another microphone, and believe it or not, your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Man, that's a novelty to have the headphone jack. It is very, very light. Compared to my iPhone Pro Max, this sucker is so much lighter. This is like at least 2 pounds heavier. This is super, super sleek, super light. And let's go ahead and boot it up and load whatever needs to be loaded. While that boots, I'm going to show you what else we've got here. We've got your brick, your charging brick, and your micro USB cord. And then you've got tons and tons of documentation from the wireless carrier, which I don't really care about. All right, we're going to go ahead then and start the process of booting up your phone. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Another drawback of the device is the haptic feedback. The feedback thing that does the vibrating is very, very poor. I'm going to turn that off immediately. Now it's got to check for updates. It's probably going to download a few updates here. I've signed into my Google account. Now we're going to move on and going into the setup process. I'm accepting all the terms and conditions. Now I need to set up a screen lock. Google Assistant is now going to be running, and then it's going to do all the other stuff. It's very simple. Just click through all this. Okay, we've gotten all the finishing touches. It's going to take a second to put me and boot me into Android 9.0. You have to accept Motorola. You have to accept all of their stuff. TracFone Wireless. This is just telling me about privacy policy. They're going to send my crash reports. And here's the main interface. It's going to take time because it's going to have to install all the apps. But there we are. We're all up and running. Basically, for 20 bucks, I've got a phone that as long as I have Wi-Fi, I'm good. I mean, that's crazy. That's wild. This is such a great alternative to, honestly, any other phone out there. 20 bucks for a phone. You could give this to your child. You could give this to your parents. You can give this to your spouse, whoever obviously you want to give this to. I'm going to be having it as an Android device that I can use for other purposes. But 20 bucks is killer. This is an incredible deal. Obviously, they're making their money by subscribing with True Wireless. But there was nothing in there that told me that I literally had to sign up for anything. I have to follow the step-by-step process here in the Total Wireless guide, and I'll be good. But as far as functionality, I mean, this is incredible. I mean, it doesn't have face detection. It doesn't have, you know, a fingerprint reader. You're basically using your passcode to open it. It seems like it's got stock Android. I don't think Motorola did much. Those are my notifications, so I don't know how much I'm going to like that. But here we go where we're starting. Once I go through and set up everything, I'm going to show you camera. We'll show you demonstration of calls and texts and that kind of stuff. This uses stock Android with a few Motorola apps. I've gone ahead and disabled all of them. You have all of the Google stock apps that are there. Then a myriad of games and other apps that you have access to from the Play Store. Even Pokemon Go. You've got on-screen buttons for multitasking, home, and back. There's no dedicated gallery app. You have to go through Google Files to look at your pictures. They have a few apps that you can tell are advertisements that I ended up deleting, like Wish and other apps. Google Photos is built in so you can check all of your apps. So you can check all of your photos. Wi-Fi is pretty decent. This is an all-around really good phone for 20 bucks. This is an all-around really good phone for 20 bucks. Integrated Google Assistant. It does go into full screen mode. The aspect ratio is 18:9, not 16:9. So you get a little bit more on the edge here. You do have a bigger chin and a little bit smaller forehead, and some noticeable bezels. You can tell that apps are taking a while. Oh, welcome! Yes, we did it. Alright, let's see how this plays on a $20 phone. Okay, whoa, I'm actually really impressed. It plays decently well. Man. That is super decent. I mean, I wouldn't join any servers and play like mad PvP. I mean, look at that lag on the blocks. Check it out. Yeah. Pongos, we are on the Moto E6, I think that's what it's called. And this is the 1080p camera, front-facing camera. It's actually pretty impressive. I'm really impressed with this phone. The aspect ratio of the actual screen is 18:9, and it's a 720p panel. There is zoom, but it's digital. It's definitely a digital zoom, and you can go all the way to 10x, 8x, digital zoom. There's no optical image stabilization, but hey, that's not bad. At 1x, it's pretty good. We are here at my parents' house. We're gonna play some goofy games and have some fun, and I'm also gonna show you what it's like. $20 phone. I've got this abomination where I've got the phones stacked on each other, so it's not the perfect, but it looks all right. Okay, let's see it. The color technology is different. It's a lot more pink and purple on the Moto phone. Tootsie, what are you doing?
She's trying to get something.
Yes, you see. Yes, you see. I'm going to zoom in as far as I can. 4x. 4x zoom versus 7x zoom. There's no stabilization. Very poor colors. Okay, autofocus. Okay, let's try the autofocus again. I don't think that is quite in focus.
No.
The colors are distinctly different here on the front-facing camera. You've got a lot of just poor contrast on the Moto. Completely different temperature science, color science, photography science. So, Panyos, just some initial thoughts on this. The color science is way off. The focus is way off. The low light is way off. But it's $20. So I don't know if I can really argue these points. I mean, the camera's really cropped in. There's a lot of compression if you zoom in, and there's also a lot of saturation just to make it look pretty. There's no image stabilization. And I still keep thinking it's only $20. The autofocus is not bad. But hey, if I am a teenager and I'm needing a phone that's dirt cheap and I just want to connect to the Wi-Fi, $20, that is not a bad deal. Anyway, those are my initial thoughts.